Hello world. This video is going to be very exciting and very useful for our whole Twitter application, or we can say our whole Twitter series. Why I am saying this? Because in the last video we have saw that how we are querying our home page, how we are getting our data, which is by running a raw SQL query, which is bad. Okay, so we are using Supabase client.js library, but Supabase client.js library doesn't provide some cool features like joining the tables, fetching the data more efficiently. That's why we need to use some ORM. So I have decided to choose Drizzle ORM, which is the latest ORM in the market, you can say. And it is like competitor of Prisma, and it's very good. And it also seems to be a little bit of faster. So we are going to try Drizzle ORM inside our application. Previously, we haven't used any of the ORM. We have did all the migrations, all the tables. We have created all the tables by using ChatGPT. If you see the database part of our Twitter series, then you can check out that we are using the ChatGPT to get all the tables, to create all the tables and then manage our database. And then we are using Supabase query editor to run directly the queries. And then we are creating the table and doing that. So this is not a good approach for a production ready web application. You should always choose a ORM, and TypeScript, we can say a type safe ORM will be cherry on the top. So Drizzle ORM is a type safe ORM, and it is a very cool ORM which we are going to use inside this application. So let's start building that part. So here you can see this is our application, and if you go to the here localhost 3000, and we are running our application nicely. But if you go to the queries part, we are doing all these things. So this is looking bad, and there is a great chance that you might do a typo here, like we have did in the last part. Like if you type a comma here, and then it will break your whole thing, and you are not able to get this why it is happening. So if you now go to your application, you can see something went wrong with the server, right? So we don't know what went wrong, and this is a very small typo, and we can't debug this thing very quickly. That's why it's always good to use an ORM. That's why we are going to use Drizzle ORM, because it is a type safe ORM. You can go to the Drizzle ORM website, you can go to the documentation, and you can find out that it's very good ORM. So we are going to use this. So first of all, let's click on pnpm and install all the packages we need here. Close this thing. pnpm, install all the stuff we need. So we will create a schema.ts file. So this is our source directory. Inside the db, we have this db thing. Okay, so we will create a new file called schema.ts. Here we will define all our schemas which we have created in the Supabase. So you can see we have a few tables, and we need to now create all the tables here. This is a simple part but a repetitive part, and you can use ChatGPT to do this also fastly. So how to do that using this ChatGPT? So let's go to ChatGPT, and here we have our schema. So if you are watching this part, then you also must have watched the previous part in which we have created all the tables. So if you go to the SQL editor, so create table, here we are creating all the tables. So now what we need to do, we need to create our schema using all these tables. Okay, so let's copy this thing, and this is my SQL tables. These, we can say these are my SQL tables. We can copy everything. So this is our profile table, and we can remove this row level thing here. This is already done, so we can remove this. This is unnecessary. We don't need this thing in our schema file. Now we will tell this ChatGPT to generate our schema. So generate the ORM schemas. As you know that ChatGPT don't have the latest data. So what we will do, generate the ORM schema from below docs. So we will paste the relevant information here. So we will go to ChatGPT, or we will go to the Drizzle ORM, because we are using PostgreSQL. Here you can go to the docs, not here, it is directly, yeah, so we will copy the whole thing. So what I want to do is, this is redirecting us to, so I want to copy the main data. Yeah, so see full docs. So this is a PostgreSQL. So you can see these are all the docs here. So just Control A, Control C. So we have copied all the things, and we will paste this, and now we will send this. So you can see there was an error generating the response because this is very big. So we just need the relevant data. What is the relevant data? The column types is relevant data. Okay, this is relevant data, so we can copy the whole thing. So first of all, what we need to do is, we have did a mistake here. So the ChatGPT only accept 4,000 tokens. So we will fix this thing. We will copy everything from here, and we will again from docs below, and we will only paste the relevant docs, nothing much. So let's paste this. Now we have this thing. Go up to the top. Here we have the things. Schema declaration. This is our main thing. This is also relevant. Yeah, this is relevant. Indexes, foreign keys, composite primary. That's all we need, and you can now send this, and it will generate all the tables for us. You can see ChatGPT is generating all the schemas, so we don't have to write all these things by ourselves. It's like a productivity hack. You can use this, and it's good. I will tell you if this has any error, we will also fix this. So now we just need to copy the whole thing. Copy the whole thing, paste here, Drizzle ORM PG core. So PG enum popularity. So we don't need this popularity thing here, so we can remove this. The UUID column, we also don't need this. We can just pass the UUID. So this may have some error, so we are fixing this. We are checking if ChatGPT has done anything wrong. So this is good. PG table profiles, ID is UUID, which is a primary key. It's totally okay. And we can also pass auto-generated, default random. So it means it is generated default. So now we can copy every ID using this thing. UUID primary key default random. Updated it, timestamp default now not null. Okay. Username. So this unique constraint is not available in the Drizzle now, so we can remove this. Also, instead of UUID column, we can replace it with only UUID. Now you can say username dot. Now we also don't have this check thing, so we can remove this. It's totally okay. But we can say we want not null. Full name also not null. We will again cross check with our original schema. So you can go here, ID updated, username and full name. These four things, ID updated, username and full name. Cool. We can remove this one also. We have tweets, which is default random, text is not null, profile ID, and the reference to the profile ID is profiles.id. So this is saying that a profile can have many tweets, just like that. And now here we can also define some React convention for naming. So instead of profile underscore ID, we can say profile and then capital I and then D. So profile, it's the best practice to do like that. Profile ID, created it, updated it. So the database will be saved, or what I'm saying is the database column will be named after this, but in the application we will use this for our TypeScript generation. So it's cool. We have hashtags, so it's also cool. Default random, the hashtag can't be null. And then we have a PG table called tweet hashtag. A tweet can have multiple hashtags, and a hashtag can be part of multiple tweets. So you can see we have a table tweet hashtag. So instead of saying tweet hashtag, we can do this tweet hashtag. This is the table tweet ID, hashtag ID, and then this one. This is cool. Tweet hashtag primary key. So we will say that this is tweet ID and this is hashtag ID. So it is creating a table which has access to the thing that which tweet has which hashtag. Okay. So we can, if we want to get all the tweets of a single hashtag, then we can query the table. We can say, give me all the tweets of this particular hashtag ID. We can query this table, and then we can join the tweet table with each ID of the tweet is equal to this tweet ID. So it will join the tweet table and it will give us all the tweets. So that's how we can do that. Here we have our replies. Replies, why it is complaining. So let's see. We have UID as a primary key. We have text. That's good. User ID. So not null. Reference is profile.id. So it means, yeah. So who is the user who have replied? Okay. Let's see. We have tweet ID. Here we can, instead of user ID, we can say user capital I. Tweet capital ID. Reply capital ID. Our productivity after this, after creating this schema, is going to be very good. This is one-time thing, and you will be very much productive after implementing this, because previously we were doing all the raw things, the native things like querying the database from raw queries. That is bad. That is very bad. So you should always use ORM. So I thought, why not use ORM in this tutorial? That's why I'm creating this part also when integrating the ORM part. Okay, so replies, text, user ID, tweet ID, reply ID. You can see this is a self-reference. Note this, you can see self reference. A user can reply to, okay, so we have ID tweet. So if we comment this out, yeah, it will work. So this is not working. It is saying that it can't reference the current table. So if we go to the documentation, here you can find out an example that for sure, which is self-referenced. You can see that sister's city ID and it is self-referencing foreign key, and that's cool. You can see country ID is countries.id, inline foreign key, that is good. Country ID, this is, and sister city ID, which is referencing to same table, NEPG column, and then so reply ID is also referencing to the same table, which is replies, and it is saying that reply ID is this. Do we need the reply ID basically? Yeah, because a reply can also be reply. So this is the confusing part. Let's omit this part. I don't think we need the reply. Why do we need the reply? Yeah, we don't need the reply. Reply user, a tweet can have many replies, and then a reply can have more replies also. That's why we are doing this. Yeah, that's why we are doing this. So if the reply ID exists, that means it is a reply for another reply. If it doesn't exist, this means it is a top level reply. If it exists, then it means it is a down level reply. Good. So let's do this also. Now you can see it is gone. We are referencing the same table. So we will insert this reply ID whenever we are replying to a reply. That's how it is work. It will work. Now we are getting the replies and we are constructing the foreign keys, which is columns, foreign columns. Yeah, but we don't need this thing. We are already referencing things here. Reply user foreign key, columns reply dot user ID profiles dot ID. Explicit foreign key with one column, explicit foreign key with multiple columns, inline foreign key. So this is a explicit foreign key and this is inline foreign key. We can choose to use either of the one. We don't need to do both of them. So we are referencing 1, 2, 3. So this table has 3 references. So a user can have many replies, a tweet can have many replies, and a reply can have many replies. So this is what these 3 references mean, and we don't need this extra hustle of creating this explicitly. If you don't want to define this inline, you can do that. So we will remove now this thing and it's good. Now we have likes table, which is likes. That's good. Default random, UUID, which is user ID, and it is referencing to the profiles.id, which is this one. That's good. Tweet ID is this. A tweet can have many likes. That's why it is referencing to tweet ID. So we can, instead of saying user, we can say user ID, tweet ID. You can see we have to do a lot of fixes after we have used ChatGPT. ChatGPT will give us the initial boost, so we don't have to write a lot of text here, basically. And we are creating an index over here. Why we are creating index? Because sometimes it is faster to get the data if we have created the indexes, but it is not required. But yeah, we can create that. So let's create an index on user ID and tweet ID so we can query them faster. So here you can find out about the indexes. So if you search index, not this index, you can see index and unique index. 2 things we have here. Okay, so I think it is, so we need to import the unique index, right? So now we have our, where is this? Likes. Yeah, so we have this unique index over here. Unique index, which is like can only be, like is unique. Basically, the user cannot like a tweet more than one. So it means with the same user ID or tweet ID, more than one row can't be existed in this table. That's why we are creating a unique index, like unique, and we can name this thing likes user ID tweet ID index. And here we can say unique like index dot on. And here we can define our columns here. So we can say likes dot, first one is user ID, likes dot, and the second one is tweet ID, like that. So we have defined our index like that. Awesome. Here we have our bookmarks. It is PG table. The same thing here we need to do user ID, tweet ID, created it. It is referencing to the correct table. Good. It is also can't be null. So we can say it can't be null. So this bookmark feature is same as the like feature, nothing much. So you can also, okay, so we are already saying it can't be null. That's good. This reference things can't be null, basically. Yeah, this reply can be null, but it can't be null. Okay, so these both can be null, but yeah, these both can be null, but they can't be null both at same time because we need to fetch, we need to find that if this tweet has some likes or if this reply has some replies. Good. Now we have some likes over here, and we need to do the same thing like we have did for the likes. So we can just say bookmarks. We will say bookmarks unique, because as I said in the last part that bookmark and like are the same thing. Unique bookmark index, and we can say bookmarks user ID tweet ID index. ID user ID tweet ID created it. Okay. So you can see this is how we have created all of our tables. And now the migration part comes. We need to generate the SQL from this, and we need to sync our database. So for that we will use again Drizzle docs. Here you can find out how to connect to our database like this. We just need to use this. We are already using the pool, which you can see, and then we just need to pass. You can remove this thing, import the Drizzle from the Drizzle Postgres, import the pool from PG, install everything, pnpm install PG. Okay, I think we need to also install the types over here. We have connection string, and then we can use our ORM, just like that db select from users, and it is simple. Let's reload our window so we can see what is going on. We need to export it also. Yeah, we need to install the type, pnpm install save dev @types /pg. So now we have types. We reload, it is gone and it's good. So now we have our SQL DB, which is a ORM, and we can now efficiently query. So you can see db dot, we have all the auto completion, beautifully auto completion. Now our productivity will be much faster, and we will be able to catch error much faster. So we don't need to do this now. We can also remove, comment it out. We will use this for reference when we create the same query using the Drizzle ORM. So we have seen three methods. First of all, we have used Supabase client.js library to fetch all the tweets and to mutate or insert like row and doing all the stuff. Then we have used plain SQL. Now we are using an ORM. So these three different approaches, and you can choose from last two whichever you want. It is not like a must for you to use this Drizzle. If you want to go with Prisma, you can. I just want to explore this new thing. That's why I'm creating a tutorial for it. And let's see. We have tweet hashtag table. It is good. You can see many to many. This is a many to many relationship between tweet and hashtag. Otherwise, we have one to many relationship. Like a tweet can have many likes, a tweet can have many bookmarks, a reply can have many replies, a tweet can have many replies. So this is a one to many, but a tweet can have many hashtags, and a hashtag can have many tweets. So this is a many to many relationship. Good. So now we have our DB. Now we will create another script for migrating our database. Migrate.ts. Here we will define a function which is main function. We will call it async, and what we will do, await migrate. So we need to find a way to migrate our database. So if you go to migrations, here you can find out how to utilize the migrations. So we need to install the Drizzle kit, which we have already did, I think. And now we can use this thing, await migrate, and import the migrate from here, import these two things, import the DB. Now we have DB. Okay, so it is migration folder of migration folder is our Drizzle. When we will generate the migrations, it will create a new folder Drizzle, and in which we have all our migrations. Node PG database record string. Yeah, so why it is complaining? Let's see. Drizzle SQL. Let's use this max connection, and also the Postgres thing here over here. So I think we need this thing Postgres, and then here we can use the Postgres, and we have all the things here. Database. Yeah, connection option. So this is the database string we need, I think. So let's connect our database. Here we can see this is using pool, and here it is using Postgres. So two things we have here. But at the end we have the database. Let's use the process.env. Okay, it doesn't need the new thing. And now let's see what the things it have. Connection, host name, password, everything it has. We want to use connection. Let's go with the database. Yeah, and we will pass. Okay, I think it accepts a connection string like that, and it accepts all the, you can say a string, and we can pass down all the stuff here. We can say max connection is 1. So we have our SQL. We can pass down our SQL here inside the Drizzle, which we will import from Postgres.js. Yeah, and now it is not complaining, it is good. Postgres.js database, and we will run this main function. We will say main.then process.exit. I will say console.log migrations running, console.log migration finished. Cool. So now we have our Drizzle ORM with the schema proper, with proper SQL DB and with proper migration system. Now we have to do few more things. If you go to the package.json, in the scripts, you need to define some script over here. So we can say generate. So it will generate over all the migrations file. So for that, to generate all the migrations file, you can use this Drizzle kit generate PC. So here you can use Drizzle kit generate PC. It will generate all the migrations file, and then we will use the migrate to push the migrations to our database. So here we can say we will use bun, something called bun, to run our script, bun.sh. So it will automatically handle all the stuff for us, like getting the environment variables and handling the TypeScript stuff and all the things. So you don't have to worry about anything. You just need to use npx or pnpx, whatever you want, npx bun. You can say run, and then you can copy the migrate, copy the path of the migrate. So instead of this, we can directly say source, go to source in the library in the DB, migrate.ts. So it will run our migrations. So first of all, let's try this. Let's try to generate the schema SQL from our schema. So we will type over here, we will say npx, you can type pnpm as well, pnpm run, what is our script generate. Okay, so it is failed. Result config.json doesn't exist. So we have to define the configs of this thing. Let's import this as well. In the root of our directory, create a drizzle config.ts and paste this stuff. So we can find out, we can define our schema in the source, in the library, in the DB. We have our schema.ts, and where we want to output the SQL, we can say drizzle. Now it's good. It will now do the work. So let's run the command again, pnpm run generate. Yeah. So now we have something, and it is showing us that transforming const to the configuring environment is not supported yet. So it is saying that no config path provided. Drizzle.config.ts. Let's see what is happening. Errors are, if you want to have all the params as CLI options. We can also do the introspect command here, and inspect. So instead of directly saying drizzle kit, yeah. So we faced an error. So what is the error? If you go to the tsconfig.json file, you will find that if you previously we were using ES5 instead of ES5, what you need to do? ES 2017. So if you can see, there are a lot of things. So you want to use ES 2017 and it will work nicely. So if you run pnpm run generate again, it will run. So this is the version thing, TypeScript. Sometimes stuff like that may happen. So you can see our migration file is ready, and you can see this is mostly similar to our stuff. All the stuff we have created. Here we have our indexes and all the things like foreign keys and stuff. Awesome. So now we have all our things, and now we can run the migrations as well. So if you run pnpm run, and then you can say let's do introspect. Okay, so pnpm run introspect. What is this? You go to the package.json, you can find out introspect. It is what, like this, and here, yeah, introspect, introspect. Let me fix that. Introspect, and here it is also introspect. So pnpm run introspect. So it will only pg is available option for drive, command failed. Only PG is available option for drive. Okay, so something is happening here. So connection string, we have to define our connection string over here if you want to introspect our stuff. So we can go to our config, which is drizzle config, and here we can provide our connection string. Yeah, it is saying DB credentials. Inside DB credentials, we have connection string, and which is process.env. What is our connection? Let's go to command P. If you are on Mac, if you are on Windows, Control P. env.local. This is our database connection string. So make sure this is hidden, and yeah, database connection string as a string. Let's fix this. So now if we run the introspect, it is saying that it is only available for the driver. What is that? Okay, so we can define our driver PG. Either connection string database are required for database connection. So for the temporary purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste my database connection string over here. It is not necessary. Let's not do that. If you want to introspect your database, you can put your connection string and you can definitely remove this because we don't want to commit this to our GitHub. Drizzle config, you can see we have this Drizzle config and we don't want to GitHub to track our database connection string. To please do it carefully. So we should remove this thing over here, but yeah, you can do that. Okay, so you can also pass the connection string like that. So we can do that. This can be done. So what I'm saying is, if you go to the package.json, control P, command P, package.json, here we are saying generate git introspect pg. So here we can say npx result git introspect pg, and here we can pass our connection string as well. So out migration, and then we can pass our connection string. So we don't have to copy and paste. So GitHub won't be able to track. Yeah, so I will now paste my env, my secret connection string over here, and let's try this. PG is available option for driver. Okay, so what it is, sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah, so we can say the driver is PG or something. Yeah, now it worked. Driver is PG, and if you go to the migrations in the schema, you have all the things. Okay, what is this? You can see it is commented whole. Current SQL files were generated after introspecting the database. If you want to run this migration, please uncomment this code before executing migration. So what is happening here? First of all, we have find out what is the difference between our current database tables and the previous one. So it find out that we need to create some more few things here, like user ID, tweet ID, because if you see in our database, in our Supabase database, we have tweet_ID. This is not the naming convention we are using. That's why it is generating. And yeah, so what we can do instead of this, let's remove the whole thing. We don't need to introspect for now. Let's generate the migration file once more. So let's delete the migration in the Drizzle. Yeah, we have this one. So we have this one inside the migration. We have this one. That's good. So if we go to our migrate file, which is this migration folder, is we are saying that this is Drizzle and this is our migration folder. And if we try to generate or we try to push the changes to our DB, let's try this, because this is a dev instance and we don't care about it. That's why we are doing all the stuff over here. So we can say npm run migrate, and it will push our changes to the DB. Now you can see npx bun. So if you don't have the bun installed, it will say please install the bun, and you can hit the enter and it will work. Now we have got some errors. You can see migrations running, bookmarks table already exist, relation already exist, hashtags. So this stuff, all of this stuff already exists. That's why it is not doing anything. Multiple primary keys for table, tweet hashtag are not allowed. So it is now done. So instead of this, we can say after this is done, we finally close the connection. So now if we try to do this again, it will close our server after running. Yeah, after generating the script. So you can see already exist. Now if you go to our database, which is here, you can find out all the things here. If you go to tweets, you can see there is nothing changed. We already have all the things as they should be and everything is good to go. But if we try to change something, then it will do something. So if we go to the migrate folder and let's try to run the migrations on the migration folder, and you go to here, uncomment the whole thing, so we can generate our migration. So now let's try it again. npm run migrate, and let's see what is happening. Yeah, so we got something this time also. We are getting some errors. If this is a fresh database, then we won't be facing any problem. Schema Drizzle already exists. Schema hashtags already exist, bookmarks already exist, likes, profiles, replies, tweet hashtag. Yeah, that's good. But then what did you do with introspecting? So introspecting is the way to find out what is changed. Let's assume we have a fresh database. Create a fresh database and try to push something there and it will work. So if we go to a fresh database, let's create a new project, test, or let's say dev database, Twitter ultimate, Twitter clone, dev. Generate a password. I will copy this, choose your region, and we will create a new database. Let's find out if this is working or not. If we will go to package.json, not in the package, in the env, and I will change my database connection string and all this stuff. Let's change all this stuff. So this is my secret service key. I will change this. This is my NN public key. I will change this as well. This is my URL. I will change this. And now we need our database. In the database, it is our connection string. And we need a new password. So basically, I will generate a new password again. Generate a new password. Copy this thing. Reset this thing. And here I will paste my password. That's good. Now everything is new. And we will generate everything from scratch. Delete the drizzle. Delete the migration. Now we will try everything from scratch. So if you go to, we can generate pnpm run, and then we can generate SQL from our schemas. So what we can do, we can generate pnpm run generate. It will generate all our SQL in the Drizzle folder. So you can see we have all our tables and relations here. This is cool. And now if you change this, if you change something, let's assume we want to insert something in the users table. So we will go to schema.ts. Here I will create a created it as well. So I will say this is the timestamp. I want to show you how you will do the work if you want to change something with the database in the future. Created it dot default now dot not null. Like this, created it, updated it like that. And now we will generate our again. So you can see now we have two migrations, and it is saying alter table profiles and add a column, which is timestamp default is this can be null, this can't be null, and this is now. You can see, and this is how we are generating all the things over here. And we can push these changes to our database in single click. So we can say pnpm run migrate, and you can see migration running, and we are successfully done our migration. So if we go to migration, okay, we haven't got this, but it is done. If you go to the tables, okay, so there is nothing. Let's see. .then so log finished. We will also log if something went wrong with that. .catch. If we have any error, then console.log error. Now let's do it again. pnpm run migrate. Something is here. Migration for okay. So we don't have migration folder. Here we are specifying the wrong folder. So that's why this console.log error is also useful sometimes. So what we will do? Result. Now it should work. pnpm run migrate, migrations running, migration finished and finished. And here you can see all the tables, and if you now go to the tweets, you should be able to see some foreign key here. So you can see this is a foreign key which is related to the profiles public key. And if you go to the tweets table, the profiles table basically, you can see all the columns are here. You can go to the replies as well. Here you can find out the reply ID. You can see this is self relation, this is from tweet relation, and this is. So everything is working like we have expected. And now we can easily query our database, and we can do all the stuff. So in the next video, we will fetch our data using the Drizzle ORM. We will mutate our data with our Drizzle ORM. We will do everything with using ORM, and it will make our life much more easier. Thank you for watching till now, and I will see you in the next video.